Sunday, everyone. Welcome to Our Issues Birmingham. Today's guest is Jefferson County Sheriff Mark Pettway. Welcome to our show, Mark.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
I am happy that you took the time out of your, I know, busy day to be here. A lot going on in the county. I know you're focused on the law enforcement part of it, but from what I can tell, even though the public may not feel it, we're making progress towards the reduction, because we will never eliminate violent crime.
Absolutely. And I thank all the deputies for the hard work that they do each and every day. They're not always recognized for what they do, but we want them to know that we appreciate the work that the deputies do each and every day when they put their uniform on.
You know what I came to realize that I've never really thought about, but just, you know, we're talking about crime and violent crime, but on a day-to-day basis, those deputies come in contact with some fairly atrocious visuals that they have to go home at night. And a law enforcement friend of mine brought this to my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get some things they see out of your brain, and they have to live with that. So it takes a special training for that, to be able to cope. Do y'all offer stuff for
We
your
do.
officers?
We want to make sure our officers are always healthy.
I'm talking about mental health.
Right.
You know?
We do teach mental health, and we do offer mental health for our deputies. It's very important. We don't want them to get desensitized to those things that they see and go through every day, because they won't perform the way that they should. And if they are not in good mental health, they cannot perform well. So we want them to be able to perform at an optimal level to where they can go out there, protect you, your property, and the whole community, and have a heart for it, and do it from their heart as a calling, and not just like a robot. But we want them not to be desensitized, but we want them to understand and feel everything they're doing and going through it the proper way.
I know the last time we talked, you were down some officers.
Mm-hmm.
Deputies, I suppose is the right word in
Mm-hmm.
your world. Has that improved?
Well, we're working on it hard. We have a nice little bunch getting ready to get hired in the hiring process right now. It's been like that throughout the whole country. Hiring has been down, but now it's trending upward. And we're glad about the prospects that we have that's coming in. And we should have a large class starting in January.
So you think on a national level, because law enforcement sometimes gets bashed at you know, the news media, of which I guess I am part of, presents some things in a negative light because it sells television ads and attracts viewers, like a train crash. You know, you don't want to watch, but you watch. Do you think that's had an impact on hiring and applicants, primarily, I suppose?
It has had an effect. Whenever we get attacked, people start saying, I do not want to go into law enforcement, because they think that everybody in law enforcement acts that way, or that is just the person that they see and they say, hey, all of them are that way. But it's not like that. We may have one or two bad apples in the bunch. Yeah. And because of those one or two bad apples, they think that everybody is like that. And those one or two bad apples make it bad for everybody. And the news will share that, and they'll share it over and over and over again. And when it happens, that incident gets spread throughout the whole city, state, the nation, and everybody thinks that's the way law enforcement is going, and that is not true. But we have a lot of very good deputies, a lot of very good officers that are out there taking care of the citizens every day, and we want to commend them.
Well, we also, which we didn't have when I first started practicing law, we now have body-worn cameras. So, I mean, that's got to be on somebody's mind. I mean, I'd hate to think there was a camera looking at me every time I did something or moved around. I mean, I mean, I'm not doing anything that horribly bad, but it's still, everybody pulls out a camera now. Nobody would call 911 if somebody were in distress. They'd start filming it. So does that factor into y'all's training programs? Do y'all talk about that and encourage them to make sure and activate and all that sort of stuff?
We do, and that's very important. It's very key, and we want to be transparent. And we want to capture everything from the beginning, not part of it. But we want to capture everything from the beginning because that, to me, it makes a difference. And when you have that transparency, the trust is there. People can trust you a whole lot better when you showing that you are being transparent. So when we provide them a video for what we have done from the beginning, it makes a big difference. And we teach our deputies, and we have a policy that they must wear the camera at all times, and it must be on when they are confronting someone.
Well, sometimes you'll see a camera and it goes silent. Well, I do know that there is some kind of weird 30-second delay, and I really don't understand what that's doing, but I think it's backing up the previous activation so that it does, and records over that, maybe. I don't know what happens in that first 30 seconds.
It doesn't record
There's
over
no audio.
Right, there's no audio, but it is recording, and that video will be there.
Yeah, and I sometimes see a police officer or a sheriff's deputy talking to their significant other, and you'll catch them at the end of the conversation going, "I love you," or something like that. So I take it they don't have to leave it on when they're talking to their wife or something like that.
We don't want those conversations.
Don't leave me. We'll be right back. This is Our Issues Birmingham. Don't go away. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. We're talking with our sheriff of Jefferson County, Mark Pettway, about law enforcement in general, but specifically what I want to ask him about right now is what's been in the news just recently, and that is what appears to be some movement in the bingo industry. If it is in fact bingo, doesn't look like bingo. When I was growing up in a Catholic school, it was Wednesday night and little buttons on a card and people with the card on top of their head when they were down to their last number. But what has happened? Something happened at the commission? They quit licensing folks?
That is correct.
Because you were a proponent of bingo.
Well, I didn't care about bingo one way or the other. I did not have an opinion about it. They did not give me the ability to go out there to promulgate bingo to where we could operate or not operate. That was up to the commission. So they gave licenses for people to be able to go out there and operate.
You're talking business licenses.
Business licenses. And on those business licenses, it does say gaming. I've had attorneys to come to my office and they will bring their license to me and their application and it will say gaming on there. And I said, okay, they understand that this is a license and gaming is on there. They knew it when they gave it to them. And I went to the county commission and asked them to take back the licenses and we will shut them down. And they did not do that.
So what's changed?
Well, now they're saying that they won't issue a license. So the licenses expired on the 30th of last month, September 30th. And after they expired, they said, well, if they fill out an application and they put on there that they will be gaming or they have bingo, they will not renew their license.
But what brought about the change in their philosophy? Do you know?
I don't know. I
Is
think
it
it will.
coming from A.G. Marshall, perhaps?
It may be some conversation that they had with him because he did come up here a couple of times and he did shut bingo down. And it may be something that they been advised by him to do, which I also advised them to do. But at the time when I advised them, they didn't do it.
So what do we do with the Birmingham race course that is the world's largest premise sporting book.
It has been approved for them to be able to operate, even by the Attorney General. And everybody asks me, well, why is it that they can operate, but we can't? I tell them it's not up to me.
There must be a specific legislative code section that authorizes that.
I only thought that it was only on tribal or Indian property that.
Or Greene County.
well,
Have you ever gotten off the exit at Greene County?
I have not been into those establishments. I don't gamble. I don't go into those establishments.
It's like going into another country.
So
They're everywhere.
I don't have any interest in the gambling. I don't go into gambling. I really don't know anybody that's a part of it.
Well, it's no secret that, especially this time of the year, sports betting is big,
Especially in Alabama.
particularly in Alabama.
Right.
And of course, there are federal laws that prohibit bookmaking, but there's also national TV ads and recent Supreme Court litigation that allows our casinos that are on reservations here in Alabama to have a sports book where you can go in and bet on a game because of the federal regulations that don't prohibit it. But I think what the federal government is more interested in is the tax that those people that engage in that business sometimes fail to pay or don't pay. And that doesn't sit well with them. So they want to, it seems to me they want to participate in the industry. And let's call it a tax. So you just have a partner.
A lot of revenue come from gaming and betting.
Huge.
And if we could use that revenue to help fund mental health, help fund public safety, and help fund education, it can go a long ways. We could really change our state. Officers deserve more, nurses deserve more, teachers deserve more. We want to be able to bring in a way we can take care of health care, mental health throughout this whole state. It takes money. And I think that if we had gambling and was able to tax it, we could have money for all those areas that I just named.
You mentioned mental health. I know from talking to you privately that you have a facility located off of Valley Avenue that is specific for people that are in the county jail to be able to receive mental health treatment. Am I saying that right?
Well, the Crisis Care Center is run by JBS. Yes, it's run by JBS, and it's there for everyone.
What is JBS?
Jefferson, Blount, St. Clair is a tri-county facility, and anyone that's going through crisis can go there to get the help that they need. We were able to help get funding to bring that Crisis Care Center here. All the legislators, Republicans and Democrats, all agreed to help bring that facility here, and we were instrumental in getting it done, and we're proud of the work that we did to get that care center here because it's needed. We're the largest county, and we need it right here because we have the largest population of mental illness.
Well, does it have how many beds?
Not enough.
Yeah. So, but is it a short-term care facility, or can people be sentenced to that place?
It's kind of, it has both short-term and long-term, but mostly short-term.
I see. We are woefully, I would say, inadequately aware of the element of mental health that plays into a lot of the crime that is committed in our community. You do not have to comment on that right now because we're going to take a break. But it's a pet peeve of mine because I think it gets ignored. This is Our Issues Birmingham. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Sheriff Pettway. Welcome back to Our Issues Birmingham. Talking about a lot of things, bingo, criminal justice system, mental health. We do have a mental health court that Judge Stephen Wallace operates like a champ, very much aware and in tune with those issues. And we're very grateful to have him working in that capacity. I think he's perfect for it. And I think he gets it. I don't think our state legislators get it because we need some changes in the law to get there. But you know, you just can't continue to lock up people and expect to modify behavior. Yes, you may call me a bleeding heart liberal, but I'm not. I think violent people remain behind bars, but that's who does, in fact, remain behind bars. And if we fill it up with people that should be somewhere else, we're losing space for the people that should be there. So is your jail at capacity right now?
It's not at capacity, but we do have people within our facility that have mental illness, and we do make sure that they get their medication. When they're on their medication, they're a total different person.
Absolutely.
And they can go in society and they can be just like a regular person when they're on their medication. I have some good friends, some close friends. When they're not on their medication, they're not the type of person that you want to be around. But when they're on their medication, they're the nicest people ever. And there's a big difference when they're on it and when they're not on it. And that's what we want to do. We want to help them make sure that they're on their medication is regulated, and just get the treatment. And when they're not on their medication, it causes them to do things that they would not normally do if they were on their medication. They become almost like a different person.
Do we have the funding for the support staff that it would take to implement what you're talking about?
We need more funding for mental illness right here in this state and in Jefferson County. We need more funding for it.
And that comes from the county commission, right?
Well, it can come from the state on down to the county commission, and we can make sure that everybody in this area, in Jefferson County area, can get the treatment that they need. We used to have it at the Jefferson County health centers. They took it out to health centers. And we need those individuals because they comes at all ages. We can have someone in school that's acting out because they're not on their medication. But if they're on their medication, they can sit down and they can learn. But if not, they will cut up and disrupt their class.
Yeah, there was an incident reported just yesterday with an 11-year-old taking a gun out from under his mother's car seat and firing at another 11-year-old at a Pop Warner football parking lot. I know this, well, this would be the county because we've had Judge Hunt Hilliard on that is very active in our juvenile court system and in trying to infiltrate, for lack of a better word, the individuals that are in the system at an early age to try to redirect and remold some of those behaviors. But those individuals have to want to participate in that. You know, you can be the greatest police department in the world, but you can't stop a drive-by shooting or an intra-family conflict. So are y'all in the community? Do you have are you able to put people, I know this is not really the function of the sheriff's office, but do you put people in the community to, like resource officers, or work with them in the surrounding municipalities and so on?
We do a lot in the community, and this week we do a faith-based organization type things in the community. It's called Faith in Blue. So you'll see us quite a bit in the community toward the end of this week, working with the City of Birmingham Police Department, the faith-based community, and the youth that are in the community, and the residents that are there, doing things to help bring us together, connecting us to where we can have a dialogue and a connection to talk about things to make our community safer.
Are they receptive? Do they show
Yes.
up? Are
Yes.
people coming?
Yes.
That would be my fear, that nobody cares, you know?
We have a fishing rodeo Saturday morning, and I've invited a lot of the young kids to come out. They're excited about it. We're going to give them fishing rods. We will pack the pond, Harvey Reed Park over in Center Point. They will be there Saturday morning to go fishing with us, so we're excited about it.
Yeah, Center Point Parkway is probably an area which rubs up against, well, you have the responsibility not just of Jefferson County, but you've sort of inherited, I think, some of Fairfield. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
And maybe some other municipalities, I'm not sure. But Center Point Parkway is mostly Jefferson County, I think, isn't it?
It is. The majority of it is unincorporated Jefferson County, and we are there to make sure that they are safe, and we're bringing resources into that community to help everybody in that community. And we work also with Birmingham, the city of Birmingham. Anything that we can do to partner with them to make that city safer, we're there to work with Chief Thurman and his department. So we want to make sure that the citizens all over Jefferson County will feel safe.
Yeah, and well, I appreciate you being with us today and taking the time from your busy schedule to share your knowledge with us, to let them know that it's just not a car driving down the street. There are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that they don't know about. So we appreciate your hard work and your deputy's hard work as well.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler.
Thanks for being with us. This is Our Issues Birmingham. Thanks for being with us this week. We'll see you next Sunday.
Good Morning Alabama, breaking down why it matters to you, forecasting for your neighborhood so you'll know what's next, and showing you traffic trouble before you go. Check us out tomorrow because this team is working for you. Mornings, 4:30 to 7 a.m. Meteorologist James Spann and ABC 3340 News, working for you.